Good evening. Good evening. Welcome you all. Tonight we are actually live for Wrapped in Wellness Conversations. I am your host, Lakisha McGaney-Osei of Joy is Just Over Yonder, the podcast. We are so excited to have our special guest tonight. As you all know and have seen, Wrapped in Wellness, the Overflow is coming in January. And one of our speakers for the weekend, DeAnna Boyd, is here with us tonight to give you a sneak peek of what's to come. If you haven't purchased your ticket yet, today will be a good day to grab that early bird ticket and lock it in. Bring your significant other, your mama, your aunt, your sister, your good girlfriend, your soror, your frat, because Wrapped in Wellness is a weekend that is being curated for all of us. If we ever needed a time to heal, to get well, to dig deep and pour into our wells, it is now. So, without further ado, I would love to just tell you shortly about Miss DeAnna Boyd. She is the founder of MiLove Circle. She has worked extensively with the Iyanla Vanzant. I always mess her name up. Sorry. But I had the opportunity to meet her a few months ago at an event, an outdoor retreat that I had, and she came as a guest and she blessed us then, right on spot. And we have been looking forward to working and building together. So welcome, DeAnna.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We are excited to have you. So, just tell the people a little bit about who you are, what spaces you operate in, and a little bit about MiLove Circle.
Okay, as you stated, my name is DeAnna Boyd. I have completed multiple courses through the Intervisions Institute, which is the head of that is Iyanla Vanzant. And I have always been interested in wellness. With going to Intervisions, what has been uncovered is just the gifts, spirituality. So I work in the realm of a lot of spirituality. I actually became an LLC in 2019, but it's something I've always been doing my life, coaching, supporting people, really wanting the best for people. Because sometimes you can see this on someone else, but they may not see it. So I've
Mhm.
always been that person that want to come in and say, okay, I'll walk with you through this. We can do this together. So that's why I did my love circle. And with my love circle, I do transformational coaching. So when I talk about transformational coaching, it's really getting inside what's in the inner. It's not what's going on outside. That may be the representation of what's really going on inside of us. So that is the work that I do. I love doing inner child work because a lot of things that we're dealing with as adults is really back from our childhood. It's back from trauma that we've had, or I also go back for ancestral trauma, bringing that pathology of what we continue to do and show up and walk in, not knowing sometimes or even how to navigate that there's a different way to do it. So I love coaching. I love supporting. And right now I'm in school to become a spiritual minister, so that's going to be added to what I do, as well as, you know, again, supporting people is really my joy. So that's a little bit about me and what I do.
And it is a little bit, but it's a lot. Like I'm telling you, from the first day I met her, heard the energy. When I say energy, it just exudes from you. So I definitely understand why you are so drawn to helping people, because the spaces that you occupy definitely are blessed by the energy that you pour out. I mean, even in our first encounter, you blessed me with something that you saw and I felt, and it was spot on. And being open to that, is a huge part of being able to receive it. And
Mhm.
so, as we talk about energy tonight, and I know that, in January, when I saw the names of your sessions, who has your energy and how to reclaim your energy, I got excited then and there about what's to come. So, talk about a little bit about, particularly though, what some people didn't catch is when you said the ancestral,
Yeah.
you know, the ancestral pathology that goes on that we don't pay attention to.
So with the ancestral pathology, it really starts when we are in the womb.
Mm.
That's where I go. Because what our mother is going through and even how we were conceived affects us. And then what she experienced and the trauma continues. And that's why the session is who has your energy, not what, but who, because that energy and what we have experienced is in our DNA. There will be something that will be so triggering for us. And we're like, I'm not even sure why I got so upset, but because all of that ancestral energy that continues to flow through woman from to birth, woman, birth, in the sun,
Mhm.
they're
Right.
carrying that. And that's being passed on to us. And, breaking that bondage of the energy that we are carrying that we may not even be aware of, because there is the belief that we are with our mom before we are really conceived, which is, a
Right.
whole nother topic. So anything that she has experienced, that her mother has experienced, that her grandmother has experienced, we are also sitting in that. We are sitting in that, and for 9 months,
Mm.
if there's any type of trauma, any type of depression, any type of abuse, we are sitting in that. And that's being carried from so far back that we may not be conscious of it,
Mm.
in our mental capacity. But they say the body holds the score.
Yes.
The body remembers, the body knows, whether we have words for it or not. And it's so important to have that emotional language.
Mm.
As opposed, hey girl, how you doing? I'm good. All this other stuff is going on, but to have the language to start expressing that, and when you start expressing that, it starts releasing from your body.
Mm.
Even what you're doing, with the reflexology, breaking some of that stuff up that's in our body that's deep to the
Yeah.
cellular level. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about ancestral and
Mm.
forgiving our parents for doing the best they could, no matter how horrible it was or the missteps. Because just think that trauma that you're going through, what trauma did they go through?
Right.
So it's all of that we get to change how the next generation shows up. We get to shift and pivot, even if we have adult children. My children are grown,
Mm-hmm.
but even how I'm showing up now. So I still get to make an impact on their lives. So that's part of the ancestral. And then I talk about the mother, I talk about the father, but I know it's just supposed to be a taste tonight. So
Yeah. Because we want you all to be there. We want
yes,
you to be
yes,
there in
yes,
January. That's January 20th through the 22nd, so that you can really get the fullness of it. But yes,
yeah.
even in what you have said, the body keeps score. And I think when I wrote in my book, my chapter, I Am Victor, is like the womb holds the history. The womb holds the history no matter what. So it's so important to really understand how we carry from generation to generation.
Yes.
And a very popular show right now on Hulu is Kindred. I don't
Mm.
know if you had a chance to watch that,
Mm.
but if you watch Kindred and you're listening to her now, like I know light bulbs are going off because it's about a young woman who kind of is time traveling back,
Mm-hmm.
and she is seeing her mother, but in a different
Mm.
and is like in the grandmother, and so she has the opportunity based on what she goes back and does to make sure that she even exists in the future,
Mm.
but just being able to go back ancestrally and see what one the trauma of slavery, of living on a plantation, of being, this and that. And it makes me think of that show and how each generation carried something from the past without realizing it,
Mhm.
and then, some people get the opportunity to time travel and see it. That'll go over some people's head, but it
Yeah, yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
But
yeah,
it happens. It happens. It
yeah.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very important about it. And right now we've had such a heavy past week, and the energy that we carry around, especially when you talk about who is who, not the what, but who,
Oh,
and how we release it. And sometimes, people are unable to release it and it takes a hold of them. And, you know, you go to that dark place and decisions are made. And, we saw, what has been described as Twitch taking his life because, in some kind of energy was upon him
yeah.
that he could not release. How do people fight their way out of that?
Well, fight, I would
Mm,
say, is harsh. And
mm,
that sometimes is the problem. I used to want to fight my way out of it, fight my way,
mm,
break through it. It's got to be hard,
yeah.
but you want to release and have loving thoughts about it.
Mm,
Because if you're fighting, you're still in battle with self.
mm,
And that's hard because if you're fighting and it's harsh and it's brutal, if it doesn't happen the way you think you're going to see it with your human eyes,
right.
it's such a break to the spirit and the soul.
Mm,
And if you are more able to find the resources or different means to be more gentle and loving and forgiveness, and knowing that wherever you are in that moment, you're loved.
mm,
Um, and sitting still and thinking what you're thinking about, your thoughts and what you're focusing on, shifting that. Because a lot of that, when you're fighting, it's a lot of negative energy that's
mm,
rolling and rolling and rolling, as opposed to who you really are. And I'm not trying to make it simplistic, but
mm.
fighting is harsh.
Yeah.
Any comparison, when you compare yourself to someone else, that's a form of abuse. So, how we treat ourselves versus how we treat our best friend, our child, our lover, our partner. Well, partner, maybe, that could be a little battle too, but
Right.
someone that we cherish and hold, if we could give ourselves that level of grace
Mm,
as opposed to fighting, because you're in battle. And when you lose a battle, you feel defeated.
mm. That's deep.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because our words, how we choose to describe, how we choose to verbalize what we're going through,
Hmm.
um, can change how it's approached, how it's received.
Hmm.
I just learned so much just in those moments of you taking it, like, the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, because when there's a fight, there's a winner or a loser,
There's a winner or a loser. Yeah.
versus a release,
Mm-hmm.
then, you're always a winner because something has been let go. It
Some.
might be just a teeny bit,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a lot, but something transpired.
Mm-hmm.
So you just flip my whole
Yeah. Yeah.
mind on it, on that terminology of like not necessarily like fighting through it, but what can I release today?
Yeah. What can you release?
What
And
can I
when you,
release today?
yeah.
Mm,
And when you're releasing, because energy doesn't go away,
mm,
you pivot, you shift, you shape. So when you release, what can I put back in there that's gentle? What can
mm.
I put back in there that's loving? You know, that is so important.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta sit with that for a second.
Yeah.
That's 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 a game changer right there.
Hmm. It's the way we think. I
It's
mean,
the, yeah.
our
That's,
thoughts and the records that we play and we play and we play, a lot of those are not even our thoughts. The
mm,
things we've heard, things we've seen, things that someone has projected upon us. That's not really who we are in our true being.
right.
So it's just a way to think differently. And when you are releasing the old, you give room for new,
Mm.
for breath to fill your body and to see things differently.
And you brought that up, the old, because that's what we're talking about. How to release the old energy.
Hmm.
So what are some steps people can do that?
Some of the things you can do to release the old is, again, I go back to being conscious of the thoughts. If it's
Mhm.
something negative, pause and ask yourself, is that true?
Mhm.
Am I that thing that I've heard for so many years? Or am I that thing that I've even claimed because my vibration is here, meaning you're vibrating lower.
Right.
So check in with what you're thinking. Check in to limitations that you may put on yourself, limiting thoughts so that you don't fail, even though you have not tried, because you really could be successful at whatever the thing is. So, again, catching the thoughts. Is that true?
Mm.
Catch the thought. Is it negative? Catch the thought. Is that something my mother, my brother, a teacher may have said?
Mm.
Is that who I am? So that's the first step I would say. Be aware of what you're thinking.
Right.
Change your language. Language has so much power because sometimes your brain doesn't know if it's happening right then or it's a thought. So change your thoughts. Change how you're going to see the day. I set intentions. My intention is what I expect out of the day, what I expect to feel at the end of the day or the end of the task. So I'm setting up and telling the universe what I want to happen for me.
Right.
I'm putting it out there. So set your expectation and set it high. Well, if you don't feel comfortable setting it high, set it somewhere that you feel good about yourself,
Mm.
whatever that may look like. Because my level may not be your level. Lakisha's level may not be my level. But set an intention on how you want to have your day. And then it could be meditation, it could be prayer, it could be breath, it could be tapping, it could be reflexology. Do something to release some of what is clogged up in your body, what your body is holding on to. So
Mm.
those, even affirmations, they say affirmations, but mean those affirmations. Really mean them. Look
Right.
yourself in the mirror, in the eye, and say it. I'm beautiful. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. Whatever it is, until you start believing it. Until, because some people can't even look in the mirror and say those things to
Mhm.
themselves. So take the small steps Get an accountability partner, you know, that can support you in this journey and bringing you out of any type of bondage that energy may have on you.
Hmm. And that is definitely key. In fact, I my accountability partner, we just checked in. Was it yesterday or the day before? And spent some time, a little over an hour, just checking in, seeing how, reflecting on this past year, what are our goals for next year, and saying that, establishing that we're going to do better about really committing to checking in. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of just having somebody to bounce things off to, because
Mm-hmm.
your regular friend circle may not necessarily have the same passions as you, or follow you in your business or so forth. But just having that accountability partner, somebody that will tap in and, hold you accountable. Like, hey, have you worked on that? Have you completed that chapter in the book that you said
Mm-hmm.
you're writing? Did you get the LLC paperwork done? But someone that's intentional about checking in, because it creates a space of, what, I do have somebody in my corner that's focused on helping me do this or that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
reciprocating it back to them, because different people have different roles in your life,
That's true.
and and sometimes we want some of the people to be everything to us
Mm-hmm.
when they really can't be. They don't have the capacity to, and we shouldn't expect them to.
That's true.
um, and so that's a big thing that I've noticed I've been using a lot, like, know when to recognize someone doesn't have the capacity
Mm.
to be all that you want them to be to you in that instance. And it's not their fault.
It's not.
It's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be able to recognize when they don't have the capacity to love you like you want to be loved,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, even, friend you like you want to be friended. Um, you know, there's a lot where I think the stress and burdens that we put on ourselves is because we try to define what people's capacity is,
Mm-hmm.
what it should be in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of self work.
Self work, and also when we, what I've learned is when I'm looking outside of myself for someone else to provide things for me, that can
Hmm.
be a letdown. So when we are looking for love a certain way, do I love myself that way?
Hmm.
When I'm looking for compassion for showing up a certain way, do I have compassion for myself, or am I in judgment?
Hmm.
So whatever you look for outside of yourself, check in with yourself to see if you're able to give yourself that same thing that you want someone else to give to you. And that's a lot of pressure
Right.
for someone else to meet certain needs when you can't meet them yourself.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of
It
pressure.
is. It
Yeah.
definitely is. So what can someone expect if they MiLove circles? Um how did you come up with the name? What does it mean to you? What would one expect if they came to MiLove circles?
Well, the name is actually my daughter's middle name.
Mhm.
And when she was a baby, I always said I would have a business and I would name it after her. And I have a son too, so it will be something up under there for
Okay.
him. And what they can expect is spiritual life coaching.
Mhm.
What they can expect is for me to go in, for us, first of all, to identify what it is they really want to work on. And then for us to work together, because I walk with you, I walk through that thing with you, and heal whatever's underneath it, going into that ancestral pattern, going into that inner child work. So they
Mhm.
can expect group coaching or one-on-one coaching. They get to choose. When you come on with me, we do a package. So because I don't want it to be one and done, I want to get in there and really support you with whatever healing that you need. So it's about the healing work for me.
Right.
Um, but to speak about the retreat, And with the wellness part of it, I want to, like we talked about who has your energy, and then the second session with my love circle, and that's something that I did over the summer, was reclaiming your energy. So now
Mhm.
that you know you've identified some things, how are you going to reclaim it?
Yeah.
What are you going to put in place to reclaim your energy? What is it, some of the things that you love to do? And there's some other things that we'll be working on, because I really like interaction. I like to feel a person's energy. And I really pride myself on creating safe spaces for women,
Yes.
because it's so important that we feel safe. So that's a tidbit, but I do some really deep work. I really
Mhm.
do. I
You
get in there.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. And that's why I've been saying to people like this wrapped in wellness from day one, from the first day, is an experience. It's not just an event, it's not a conference, just to show up and get some handouts and leave. But wrapped in wellness is an experience that you partake in.
Hmm.
Like we're gonna do the work while we're there. Like she said, it's interactive, and every speaker that is lined up, they are there to pour into you and to do the work and let you start doing the work. You know, will everything be accomplished in that weekend? No, but you will not walk away the same way you entered on
Hmm.
Friday evening. When you leave on Sunday afternoon, you will be a different person
Hmm.
from those 48 hours that you arrived earlier. And so that's what I love, is that, it's going to be sessions all through the weekend where you actually get to dig in and figure out, where you need to go next, and who you possibly need to work with to help you on that journey. Um, you're going to have people like Miss Boyd, Miss Dr. Shaniko Johnson, Dr. Vicki Johnson. Like, there's going to be so many people in the space to help you move on and move through this journey that we call life. So I'm excited to have you.
I'm
Um,
excited. Woo-hoo.
we are so excited. In fact, this is a perfect time. We're going to just stop for a brief commercial break. Yes, y'all, we have commercials this season. So we're going to just pause for a moment so that you can take a look and see who's coming to Wrapped in Wellness. All right.
Ooh,
How can you
espresso.
not be excited? I'm so excited. It's going to be a wonderful time wrapped in Wellness 3.0, the overflow. So this is year three. But of course, we were all virtual last year and with our 3-day summit. But this year we are live. So this is the time to get your tickets. I know you're hustling and bustling to get Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, and so forth, going to galas, but don't put yourself on the back burner. Claim a weekend for yourself. Say, honey, I know what I want for Christmas. Get my ticket to Wrapped in Wellness. You looking for the perfect gift for your longtime girlfriend? Get her a ticket for Wrapped in Wellness. You want to do something with your significant other? Get yourself a couple's ticket to Wrapped in Wellness so we can heal together. So right now, the early bird special is still going on. You can get a ticket for $149 for the entire weekend up till December 31st. And then we do also have some ambassador special limited ambassador role tickets that are available. There's 10 available. So if you want to be an ambassador, you can follow up with me and learn how you can get a discounted ticket doing that role as well. But we are looking forward to your sessions. I really am.
I'm
We are
excited.
looking forward to it. So
Mhm.
you are obviously going to be doing a part of Wrapped in Wellness, but what else do you have coming up in 2023 that folks can look forward to?
Well, I have a work, what I, one of my flagship, I should say, I shouldn't do quotations, excuse me,
Air
is
quotes.
um, Hear My Mother's Cry.
Mm,
That is a 6-week workshop, and it deals with mother-daughter relationships.
mm.
It goes and it'll take you there.
Okay.
And healing and allowing our moms to come off the cross. And
Mm.
even if your mom is physically here or not, it's always an opportunity to heal some stuff. So I have that coming up. I love my vision boarding, so I'm going to get that in for 2023 and work on more retreats because when I had the two events here in the area I live in, the women were like, "Okay, we want retreats, retreats." So I'm so excied about this retreat. As I'm
Yeah.
just so excited. Um,
And tell them to come on.
yeah, yes, that's
Yes.
come on, man. You said let's do a retreat. I'm doing a retreat. I'm
Right.
missing one, but come on, you know. So that's what they can women can expect, and I'm really excited, Lakeisha, about what's going to come out of this.
Yes.
So it
I
may,
am too.
yeah,
I believe it's just is a good work. It is a good work, and that's why I truly, truly want as many people as possible that can partake in it to partake in it because I truly believe it's going to transcend people,
it
you
will.
know, for their life, not just for that weekend or the month, but
Hmm.
just for their life because of the work and the way God has pulled and curated the people that are going to be there. And
Hmm.
and on any given thing or any experience that we host, we always say the people in it are in the room that are supposed to be in the room.
Yeah.
But if you're supposed to be in the room, you're going to have to take action to get into the room. So
Hmm.
is that part too. So, you know, take action, think about it. But if you know that you were supposed to have, that you have some work to do, this will be a great weekend
Hmm.
to continue that work or to start diving into that work that you've been putting off. Because, you know, we recognize when we put off some things because we're not ready to address them. But maybe this is your year to start addressing it so you can live a full life for the rest.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Now your 6-week course, is that going to be at the beginning of the year? When can they look to enroll in that?
That will probably kick off in more like March.
Okay.
At first, I typically do my vision boarding, and then I follow up with the Hear My Mother's Cry
Okay.
around that March time frame. Because people are getting into their routines and
Right.
the diet, whatever they're doing. So
Mhm.
let all that kind of mellow out, and then let's do this. So something for people to look forward to, and I will
Absolutely.
definitely work on a full schedule that I will have that I can share at the
Mhm.
wellness retreat. And
And
we're
how,
gonna do something else. I'm gonna claim it right here, right now. You and I, we're gonna
that's
do something else too. Yeah,
yes, because
yeah,
you know we're definitely going to do some outdoor retreats
yes.
when it warms back up again because that was phenomenal and people have been asking about it since the one in October. So we're definitely once it warms up again, you will see some more Wrapped in Wellness outdoor experiences. right here in the DMV area.
Mhm.
And you also will be hearing, particularly if you are in attendance at Wrapped in Wellness, if not shortly before, we will have a international retreat
Ooh.
that will be curating, and that's been on the burner for a minute, but we are going to do it. We've seen some prices come down in the area that we want to go, so look forward to a international April retreat. It is going to be limited. It will only be for about 6 to 8 individuals, so it will be a very intimate experience. But y'all know where my favorite place to go is, so that gives you a hint where it will be. But we will announce that over the next few weeks as well. So we're looking for an exciting year. I Touch Souls is growing, and we already have 2 retreats that we've been asked to participate in March, kind of back to back. And we, of course, we have Wrapped in Wellness in January. So our goal at I Touch Souls is to do be either curating or providing services at a retreat every month in 2023, along with our one-on-one services to individuals. So if you have something called retreat coming up, a women's day, a men's conference, because we serve everyone, and you want some hands-on services at that retreat or conference, I Touch Souls would love to talk to you and be a part of that. So we have a lot on our plates, but you know what? We're built for this. And another part of being in Wrapped in Wellness is you'll also be learning how to make sure you take respite for yourself,
Mm.
because you have to restore, rejuvenate, and reset yourself as givers, as people in health workspace, as people
Yes.
in energy healing space. You still have to have that time to reset yourself. And Wrapped in Wellness is one of those times that you get to do that. So, any final thoughts or nuggets you have for the people? We're not giving it all to y'all tonight. You got to
Right. I can't give it all away.
we just gave you a teaser.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be bringing some of the other speakers on. Next will probably be Miss Shaniqua and Miss Michelle. But yeah, we're going to bring them on over the next few weeks so that you can get a taste of who will be presenting and who will be before you. But I encourage you again to get those tickets before December 31st. So as we close out, Miss Boyd, what are some things, as we're coming to the close of a year,
Yeah.
and what are some things that people can do to start clearing energy for the end of the year?
Okay. So I wanted to say this real quick. And I'm also doing a workshop with DeAnna Boyd, who you know,
Yeah,
here in August. Yeah. So
in
that's,
next August.
yeah. Well, yeah, next August, 2023. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes, because this year's is good. We wrapping it up. You
Up
still can get some things done in this year. Every day, there's still
every
potential.
day, every
Like
day.
I'm about to drop 3 haiku books, so you can still do some stuff.
Okay, you
So
still got
yes,
time. You still got
yes.
time.
Haiku Blues is being dropped on December 28th, exactly 50 days before I turn 50.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
So I'm gonna
that
drop
is
one,
cool.
you know, 50 days out, 25 days out, and on my birthday. So it's a haiku trilogy. So you can still get some stuff done in this year, people.
You can, you can.
Yes.
Well, what I would recommend for people is to set an intention even for the close of the year, the beginning of the new year, which has your anchor, what you desire and how you want to feel, and clean your space. Clean
Hmm.
your space, because the clutter is also a reflection of what's going on back to the mind. Clean your space up.
Yeah.
Clear out things that no longer serve you.
Mhm.
Sometimes we get in a rut of doing because we've done it for so long. But reevaluate if that's something that is serving you. So clean the clutter, reevaluate, and have an intention statement. Those are my three nuggets.
Awesome. And very important to do, especially that clutter. And I do notice that the more when I'm kind of falling off, the
Hmm.
more things start cluttering around me. And then I have to be like, okay, Keisha, it's time. It's time. You gotta finish this. So I go through that continuously.
Well, I think we all do.
Yes. So when I found the lady, was it joy? Does it bring you joy? Like I did my drawers and stuff. Like, but it was very helpful. It was very helpful. Does it bring you joy? Do you need it? And I was like, I purged a lot through that. So yeah, this is a great time to do that. That
Yeah,
purging.
yeah. And you got to get it out your house because what I
Right.
do, I'm like,
Don't
oh,
don't just move it to a different space.
they need that. Who knows for what? But I just, and my sister's, not my sister, my daughter's like, no, 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 ma. No, no, no. Joy. So no, no, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are some awesome nuggets. So we thank you all for joining us live. We'll be, of course, you'll be able to find this over on our YouTube channel. And it'll be permanently, of course, on the Joy is Just Over Yonder page. And you'll make sure you'll get your downloadable copy as well so you can share it on your platforms. And be sure to follow DeAnna. She's over on Instagram I usually put that up. Shout them out your Instagram. How can people follow up with you?
MiLove's Circle. MiLoves. Then Circle. My Love Circle. That's my IG.
So you can follow her there. And same website or just at the
Oh
Instagram?
yeah, my website too. Thank you. Is
Mhm.
www.mylovecircle.com. I kept it simple. I kept it simple.
Yes.
And, I don't do a lot on Facebook, but it's just under my name, DeAnna Boyd. And you can, if you go into a Google search, my all my information comes up. You can make appointments through the Google. You can call me. So that's another way. Just put in my love circle, the URL, and it'll come up on the Google search. You know how you find restaurants and stuff.
Right.
It comes up the same way. So you can reach me that way or Instagram, my website.
Awesome.
Hmm.
So MiLove Circle.
My love circle.
So again, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm glad we were able to go live with it, and
Yeah.
we will because and as we build our podcast portion of it, you will be able to find the audio for this interview on our podcast channels once we get that
Oh,
all situated through Anchor FM. So we thank you for joining us.
I had a
And we
blast.
look forward to being wrapped in wellness with you next month. Peace
Same.
and blessings.